Very early on, then Mayor Jesse Robredo proposed that mayors and their local school boards form regional education councils. It was a way to sustain the leadership of LSBs in education and reach out to many communities and children. Today, 6 regional education councils have been formed.
Every time I get an invite to our REC meetings led by Synergia, I'm always excited. I'm always excited to be with like-minded leaders, individuals whom I know sa kanilang mga bayan, lungsod, at munisipyo ay front and center ang education. And every time I listen to their reports, their programs, their projects, I'm inspired because their passion has driven them to find solutions to common educational problems na innovative, out of the box. Hindi ito pangkaraniwan at wala sa listahan. But seeing how they listen to the students, to the teachers, is something that I always take to heart. Lalong-lalo na pag naghahanda kami ng mga programa sa Quezon City. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity of being part of our Regional Education Council. Maraming salamat po.
The biggest accomplishment of the North Luzon Regional Education Council has been the provision of a venue for mayors to get together and talk about collective problems and solutions. The sharing of best practices has inspired other LSBs to think about our current situation and how to overcome the challenges not only during this pandemic and how to continue with the provision of basic education delivery in our country. Quality education for all children.
The Regional Education Council is composed of many enthusiastic, dedicated, and compassionate leaders who are committed to bringing education that is sustainable and available to all of our learners in our different municipalities.
Regional Education Council ket maysa ang napateg nga organisasyon na magtulong itidepet tapno mapaduruas ti kalidad edukasyon.
It was my first term as mayor when I met Synergia Foundation. I am happy that Synergia Foundation connected me with the Regional Education Council of North Luzon. Technically, RSC inspired me to sustain the education reforms of my predecessor. Here we are participating to the 2021 Seal of Good Education Governance.
The REC helped its members by providing an opportunity for learning. It is very important that when we are talking of education as a sector in our community, it should be a learning organization. The biggest achievement would be the coming together of the various mayors. My favorite will still be Mayor Carlo Medina of the city of Bigan. He's not selfish in sharing what he is doing in his city. I hope more local chief executives as enablers in their community would come on board.
There's a lot of things from the Regional Educational Council, like the initiative initiated by the local government, and there are, of course, there are things which I can learn from the other local government.
I participated actively sa Regional Education Council.
The Northern Mindanao Regional Education Council is very active in pursuing and supporting the implementation of the government programs on education and initiate as well reform initiatives geared towards improving the quality and effectiveness of the education system in Northern Mindanao in particular and the country in general.
Northern Mindanao Regional Education Council. Masaya, palikhain at nagkakaisa para sa sambayanan. All for one, one for all.
Bilang isa sa baguhan sa Synergia, isa sa lesson yung natutunan ko sa mga Regional Education Council meeting ay pwede palang mangopya sa mga kasamahan kong mayors na may mga magagandang idea. Yung tipong, ay may ganun pala, matry ko nga sa bayan ng mga udadato.
REC inspired me to sustain the education reform of my predecessor.
Mas marami sanang munisipyo, if not all, municipalities in the entire country will join Synergia. Marami na naman silang matutulungan.
The REC members share their best practices so that the other LGUs can implement it as well.
That all of our leaders, like myself, who are in a completely different setting, will be able to replicate all the programs we are promoting in the REC and Synergia.
I was worried in the beginning that we may not be able to handle it, and also I was worried that there may be some problems on being able to convey messages to our members, no, and how to improve not just the quality of education but also the revenues that finance our budgets for education. But I was really amazed at I was accepted by our council from Lanao del Sur, from Lanao del Norte, and of course from Misamis Oriental. The teamwork and collaboration, very amazing, very remarkable. The beauty of discussing best practices that the LGUs have done is these best practices are also being tested, and also we have other LGUs replicating them in their respective territories.
Ginsag-a o ang sapa-sapa dito sa may talamnanan. Ang toraksoy nga ako nadagpan, ginhimo ko nga linagpang. Nag-abot ang mga bisita, kabarkada ko sa inuman. Linagpang ko nga turagsoy, amon ginsumsuman. Linagpang ko nga turagsoy sa sabaw, nagalangoy-langoy, ginlaktan, pagit sang ginamos, pinamalhas, gid kami sang higop.
Ang siling sang nakatilaw,
Sampagin ang plado mo, linagpang
turagsoy,
The heart of Synergia now throbs in 6 RECs. And so, with local chief executives as members and lead conveners, the RECs were created in North Luzon, National Capital Region Central Luzon, Panay Visayas, Northern Mindanao, Central Mindanao, Zamboanga, Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Mindanao. Like branches of a tree, the RECs have extended outward, bringing Synergia closer to the LGUs. They play a huge role to sustain, scale up, and replicate education governance reforms so that every Filipino child is enrolled, completes basic education, and learns in school.